But now the story gets weirder, because by the 1990s, De Beers had started to lose its diamond monopoly. A bunch of competing diamond mines had opened up. De Beers later had to settle an antitrust lawsuit. So they didn't control the supply of diamonds anymore. But diamond prices still stayed high for decades.
Yeah, why is that?
I'm so glad you asked, because I called up the expert. Can you just say your name for us and what you do?
Yeah, so my name's Paul Zimnisky, and I'm an independent diamond industry analyst.
Paul Zimnisky is like the diamond markets guy. He travels the world visiting mines and factories, collecting data on supply and demand. Paul says right around the time that De Beers was losing control over the supply of diamonds, they found a big new way to juice demand. They took the same classic playbook, a diamond is something you give to someone because you love them, all that stuff, and they deployed that playbook in a huge untapped market, a country with more consumers than anywhere else in the world.
China.
Culturally, Chinese consumers really didn't buy diamonds prior to, say, the 2000s. So they were kind of marketing that as a new area to drive diamond demand, and, it started to really catch on.
So, in large part thanks to these new Chinese customers buying into the story of diamonds and also buying a lot of diamonds, Paul says diamond prices actually hit a new peak in the 2010s.
Okay, so now lab-grown diamonds, though, they enter the mix.
Yeah.
Does that not bring the price of natural diamonds down?
Yes, but here's where the diamond story gets even weirder. So these high-quality, lab-grown diamonds, they started hitting the market in a big way about a decade ago. And people did worry at the time, are these going to crash the price of diamonds? But because scientists like Ulrika can actually tell a lab-grown diamond from a natural diamond, instead what happened is the diamond market split into two different markets. So if you look at the market for natural diamonds, over the past 10 years, the price has come down maybe 20%.
Because people who would have bought natural diamonds started buying the lab-grown ones.
Yeah, that is a big part of it. But then you look at the market for lab-grown diamonds, and that has been just on a wild ride. So at first, lab-grown diamonds were pretty expensive. Paul says if you went to the jewelry store, the lab-growns, they were only 10% cheaper than natural diamonds.
Essentially, they were selling, a lab diamond having the same maybe meaning, if you will, of a natural diamond.
So they were piggybacking off the sort of a diamond is forever and super expensive marketing stuff from De Beers.
Absolutely. That's the way I see it. They're essentially riding on their coattails.
Like, you remember the marketing for this, Sarah, right?
It was like, be ethical.
Yeah, this is not a blood diamond. This came from a lab, yeah. But the more and more people that started to buy lab-grown diamonds, the more companies invested in perfecting the technology to make them, to grow them bigger and cheaper. A lot of those breakthroughs were happening in China, since China was already the world leader in making diamonds for industrial purposes. So, Sarah, let me show you something that blew my mind. Remember Alibaba, the Chinese website where I bought the Planet Money diamond? Well, they don't just sell diamonds there. Take a look at this page.
Okay, I see a machine. I see like a big machine with like knobs all over it. It kind of looks like a big giant like ice machine.
Oh, it's a different kind of ice, Sarah. This is a chemical vapor deposition machine. This is basically one of those fancy microwaves Ulrika was talking about.
Oh, so you can buy the thing to make your own diamond for just $158,000.
Yeah.
Steal.
Do you want to buy one?
No, I'd rather just buy $158,000 worth of diamonds.
I mean, a lot of people did think this was a steal. Paul says over the past couple years, companies in India and China have been buying tons of these kinds of machines, building big new factories. Paul's actually visited some of them.
There's really not anybody there. It's basically machines that are growing diamonds. There'll just be, rows and rows of them.
All these automated factories with their rows and rows of diamond-making machines led to a huge upswing in the supply of lab-grown diamonds.
I would describe it as like a bubble in production, a bubble in new supply that really became clear in, I would say, 2022 and 2023.
Since then, the wholesale price for lab-grown diamonds has absolutely crashed. In just 3 years, it's fallen like 90%. It's been this cataclysm for the diamond industry. Paul says some lab-grown companies are going bankrupt. Also, you know how diamonds are also used a lot for industrial purposes? Some companies are actually pivoting back to that, just making diamonds for, like, saw blades and drill bits.
Diamonds are a construction worker's best friend, you know?
They are.
Okay, so this is how you got our diamond for so cheap. You got it wholesale, direct from the supplier.
Yeah, exactly.
And the normal wholesale price for a diamond is something like $137, I guess.
Well, I did ask Paul about that. So how much do you think I paid for it?
I would say the wholesale on that diamond is under $100.
$100? Oh,
He
gosh.
said under $100.
What?
Yeah, apparently
So
this
you
is
overpaid for
I
extra
know.
sparkly,
I
lab-grown,
know, I
badly
know.
made in a microwave diamond.
I know. Apparently this is like an open secret in the industry. Literally, nobody that I talked to was surprised at all that I'd somehow managed to buy this diamond for $137. Apparently, it was not even that good of a deal.
Okay, but there is this disconnect for me because Paul is saying that the wholesale price for a lab-grown diamond like this one is $100-ish. But if you walk into any diamond store right now, this exact kind of diamond is not going to cost you $100. At a store, it'll cost you $1,000.
Yeah, exactly. That is the biggest mystery in the diamond market right now.
The markup.
Yes.
I think we should buy one of these diamond making machines.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. So this is the big puzzle right now. Because for natural diamonds, the typical markup, like in a retail shop, it's maybe 30%. But for lab-grown diamonds, the markup right now is like 600%.